20 feet from one end to the other, about 20 feet wide. You could walk on top of it from one end to the other. And that was all that dredge spoil dirt piled there. And it made a levee. It made it along the side of the river. So the river could not connect with the floodplain. We took all of that dirt out of there and took it out of the floodplain and gave it to other ranchers that needed it to level their land to make their ranches more productive, but out of the floodplain. Then we were left with this bare area, which we've now seeded with native plant seed. We've started planting in it with some native plants. And over time, that will be full of cattails and willows and sedges and grasses. But our worry was, until everything takes root and holds the ground together, and so that there's not erosion, we were worried if we had a flood like the one we just had, the water would go in there, which is our desire, and then would come rushing down here and start eroding away at the higher part of that bank, and erode away all the way down to Genoa Lane and potentially damage the bridge and the road. So what we did is we decided to put our art sculpture right there. It anchors that piece of ground until the native vegetation comes up, and it creates basically speed bumps for the water. So as the water rushes down, it hits those and slows down and soaks in. Hits the next one, slows down and soaks in, and so forth. And we are really happy. This flood in January and February, those two events were its first test, because it's only been in a couple years, and it's intact. It held. There's no erosion downstream of it at all. So it performed beautifully from an ecological standpoint, and it's also beautiful to look at.